Now, the only local news in high definition, live, local, late breaking. This is WNBF News at 4:30.
The radar's clear, the sun's shining, the temperatures are warm. It's a forecast way out of the ordinary for December. I'm making sure you know exactly how long it's going to last.
Emails like this are popping up in inboxes across the state, updating people just like you about their personal information. I talk to security experts to find out what you need to know if you have one of these messages.
And it's now what you want to see outside of a school. Emergency crews parked on the street, workers keeping kids away from the building. We are filling you in on what's behind this scene. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to WNBF News at 4:30. I'm Michael Maley.
And I'm Theo Hayes. I think Jamie Arnold might be the most popular guy in the newsroom tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's got an absolutely beautiful forecast for you to start WNBF News at 4:30, Jamie.
Yeah, it is really looking good and feeling good out there today. We've been seeing the temperatures really creep up. We saw it over the weekend. Today, they just absolutely took off. And take a look at where we are right now. 73 in Darlington, 76 for Florence, Marion at 70, Conway at 72. Bit of a sea breeze has now just recently knocked Myrtle Beach and Georgetown back into the mid-60s, but still pretty comfortable, especially considering all of the bright sunshine. WNBF News Skycam here on top of our studios in Myrtle Beach, showing just a couple of fair weather clouds overhead, and those are eventually going to burn off and give us just nothing but clear skies. We head into the nighttime hours tonight, so let me break it down for you. As we head through daybreak on Tuesday, this evening, mostly clear and unseasonably warm, with temperatures very slowly slipping their way down to 60 degrees. Overnight tonight, we will reach down into the 50s, and after midnight tonight, we're going to start to see some of that fog developing as winds go calm, but the atmosphere pretty moist out there. And speaking of fog, you may want to give yourself a little more time tomorrow morning, as another round of dense fog will be likely as we start the day Tuesday with temperatures near 50. Temperatures spike up once again as we head into tomorrow afternoon, but I'll let you know when they head down with my Storm Team forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Jamie, thank you. We are staying on top of the security breach of the Department of Revenue for you. And if you signed up for protection, you could be getting notices soon from the company. WNBF News reporter Stephanie Robusto is looking into what happens after you get those alerts. Stephanie, how will people be getting notified?
Experian will be notifying you in the method in which you signed up. So if you enrolled over the telephone, you'll be getting a letter. And if you signed on to protectmyid.com, you'll be getting an email notifying you on activity with your credit and how to protect your child. The first is to alert you if you've had any activity on your credit. It is a monthly alert, but even if it says you haven't been affected this month, that does not mean you haven't been affected by the breach. It is just showing you your recent activity. Another notice to be looking out for is regarding your child's Social Security number. Experian will be notifying you to sign up for the Family Secure Plan to check a minor's credit activity. Experian says these notices are being staggered. If you signed up by November 15th, you will get an email within the next 2 weeks. The email for the Family Secure Plan does not mean your child has definitely been compromised. It's just an added precaution, one that the Better Business Bureau says is something you need to take seriously.
So build it, abuse it, and then it falls back on the person. And your child could be 6 years old today and not find out that they've been compromised till the day they apply for college, if the parents aren't monitoring that.
I'm working on a better timeline for you to know what will happen once you've been notified and the steps you need to take after you sign up. I'll have more information on that on my full report on WNBF News at 6. Reporting live in the control room, Stephanie Robusto, WNBF News.
Okay, looking forward to that. Thank you, Stephanie. And so far, the Raycom News Network has talked to several people who think they've been victimized as a result of that hack. They say they haven't gotten a response from the South Carolina Department of Revenue, but it looks like the DOR has plans to change that. Reporter Jody Barr is talking with people within the Revenue Department to learn more about their plan to address the issue. You can see his story on WNBF News at 5:30.
Breaking news, this accident has Highway 151 in Darlington County shut down. That crash involves a school bus from the Darlington County School District. It was carrying 22 students, but we're still trying to learn which school they attend. The bus driver and 8 other people were taken to the hospital. Their injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. And brand new details about a deadly accident over the weekend involving a tractor-trailer driving in reverse. The South Carolina Highway Patrol says 43-year-old William Lidge Jr. was driving south on Harvey Bridge Road around 7:15 last night when he drove into that big rig. The rig was ahead of Lidge in the southbound lanes but was driving in reverse. That accident is still under investigation. The person driving the tractor-trailer was not hurt. Well, Lidge was one of 5 people killed on South Carolina highways over the weekend. According to the South Carolina Department of Public Safety, one of the people killed was wearing a seatbelt. The other 4 were not. As of December 2nd, more than 750 people have died on South Carolina highways in 2012. That's compared to nearly 780 in 2011.
New at 4:30, the people forced to leave their homes after this train accident on Friday won't be able to go home until at least Saturday. That crash released a toxic chemical and the levels are not safe. Police are also forcing the media to get away from the site. Officials say they're just trying to keep people safe.
As long as we've got vinyl chloride and the potential for that release, we're being very cautious.
Vinyl chloride gas spilled from one of the freight train's cars when it ruptured during Friday's derailment. While people in that area are pretty frustrated with leaders right now, it's a different story in New York when it comes to disaster management.
That's right. A new poll shows New York voters are giving high marks to Governor Andrew Cuomo, President Barack Obama, and New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg when it comes to how they handled Hurricane Sandy. A month after the storm left behind this damage, 67% of people polled thought Cuomo did an excellent or good job handling the storm. 61% gave President Obama an excellent or good rating, and 55% gave Bloomberg the same.
We are working to learn what caused the carbon monoxide leak that sickened dozens of students at an elementary school. 43 students, 5 adults from Finch Elementary in Atlanta were taken to local hospitals because of mild and moderate symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning. Students said they started feeling sick around 8:30 this morning. When fire crews got to the school, they found high and unsafe levels of carbon monoxide. No one found unconscious, but about 500 students were evacuated to a nearby middle school.
Well, definitely not what students want to hear. Governors in Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, and Tennessee are going to add at least 300 hours of learning time starting with the 2013 school year. It's a 3-year pilot program aimed at boosting student achievement and making U.S. schools more competitive globally.
We've talked about the achievement gap for a long time in this country. What I'm trying to focus the conversation on is not the achievement gap, but the opportunity gap. And I'm convinced if we close the opportunity gap, the achievement gap goes away.
The program will impact about 20,000 students in 40 schools. It will be funded by a mix of federal, state, and district money.
It is an epic day when it comes to this piece of technology you use every day, the anniversary of the event that changed the way we use phones.
Welcome back. Your cell phone is probably the one thing you always have with you. You use it to check your Facebook, snap pictures, send emails, and of course call and text.
The phone's such a big part of everybody's life. Seems like we've always had it. That's why it might be hard to believe today is the 20th anniversary of the first ever text message. People like you, the ones you see here, send those quick texts all the day, all the time. It's all thanks to Neil Papworth. Now, he had to use a computer to send the first text to a coworker's cell phone. It read, "Merry Christmas." A lot more people will probably be spending time on their smartphones after the holidays. Retailers estimate about 1 in 3 holiday shoppers are going to gift electronics this year. If you're thinking about giving a phone, here's something that may factor into which one you choose. Consumer Reports talked to 63,000 smartphone users. This is how they ranked the major carriers. Verizon took the top spot, followed by Sprint and T-Mobile. But if you're going to pick up a device with 4G capability, users say AT&T is the way to go, so check your coverage area. The bills that come along with those smartphones can get a little overwhelming, especially if you're still working to pay off those holiday shopping bills. So try trimming your data usage by using Wi-Fi for video streams, video calls, video uploads, music streams, and of course, online games.
It's one of the most controversial names in the NBA, LeBron James. And love him or hate him, LeBron's taking home another big title today. WNBF News sports reporter Joe Morano is live in the studio. Joe, LeBron is Sports Illustrated's Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah, James is the first NBA player to win the award since teammate Dwayne Wade did back in 2006. This is the Sports Illustrated cover here featuring LeBron. A major factor in the magazine choosing him, the fact that he, quote, came up the biggest when the Miami Heat needed him most last season. And another big role in SI's decision was LeBron's play. He, of course, led the Heat to an NBA championship, James' first ever last season. And he also helped Miami beat the Brooklyn Nets in this game you're seeing on Saturday night. LeBron, of course, don't forget, led Team USA as well to a gold medal at the Summer Olympics in London.
One thing about LeBron I think that's very underrated is that he really respects his gifts. He respects his talent. He respects his game. He respects his teammates. He respects his opponents. And I think all that came to fruition in 2012.
James was also selected because he does a lot of charitable work, especially with school kids in his hometown of Akron, Ohio.
Joe, you know, a lot of people have strong feelings about LeBron James, stemming, of course, from his decision to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers for the Miami Heat. That's earned him a lot of criticism along the way, including when it comes to this award.
Theo, that's right, and it's very true and proven if you take a look at the tweets that started pouring in even seconds after SI announced James got that title today. Some people out there being pretty negative, as one tweeter is, toward both Sports Illustrated and James, saying SI got it wrong and James does not deserve this award. But others have nothing but good things to say about the Miami Heat forward, taking to social media to congratulate James on the honor. So where do you stand? Happy with Sports Illustrated's decision, or was someone else more deserving? You can tweet me at WNBF Sports to share your opinion and continue the discussion. Live in the studio today, Joe Morano, WNBF News.
Well, temperatures today soared well into the 70s, and we're not done with them just yet. I'll let you know how many more 70-plus degree days lie ahead of my Storm Team forecast coming up.